Now, it's time for Spotlight on Business, where every week we put the spotlight on a different local business so you can find out how they serve you and the community. Now from Michiana's Morning News, it's Laura Smith.
Welcome to the Style File November edition with the one and only, the great Danny Reynolds of Stephensons of Elkhart.
Hello. Happy Sunday.
Well, happy Sunday. And I know the birthday is technically over, but you must still be celebrating after 94 years. Not you, but the store being in Elkhart.
I feel 94-ish. Yeah, we like to make the celebration last. We kind of start it usually late October and carry it right on through to the holiday season, which is right out the back door. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Here it comes.
And last Thursday night, you had your sip and stroll, which I was able to enjoy.
Yes.
I mean, what could be better? Champagne and shopping.
Champagne and shopping.
Nothing's better.
Two of ladies' best friends.
Yeah.
And guys, too. Always a fun time. Showcase our great and beautiful downtown and the many great restaurants and shops and boutiques that we have down there. I think for a town our size, Elkhart really has a lot to offer. We
really do. And it seems to be growing every day.
Absolutely. I've told the story many times, Laura, of some of the dark days that we saw at Stephensons. Like, as you mentioned, we just celebrated our 94th. We've been around since 1931 and personally since 1994 doing it. And I'll tell you, during the Great Recession, it was quiet downtown. And I remember looking up and down Main Street, and we didn't have a lot of company down there. And then I credit the Lerner renovation as being really one of the catalysts for sort of lighting the fire that is still burning, getting downtown Elkhart going again. They built the IUSB campus there, and then you just started to see things happen. And as our economy returned, people were, that entrepreneurial spirit took hold, and we saw great growth in downtown. And I think it's something that's still going on. Very few empty storefronts these days, and really a lot to offer again for a community our size.
I love it. It's been everything that I was hoping it would be when I moved here in 2020, and it really has. I moved as close to Main Street as I could because I wanted to be able to go there whenever I wanted. And because I just had a feeling that something there was this energy that I could tell was taking place. And that was 5.5 years ago. And I'm not disappointed. I cannot believe everything that has been happening with the Riverwalk area and all the new restaurants and just so much.
The whole new Delta neighborhood there.
That neighborhood.
Didn't exist 5 years ago.
No.
And what a great addition or expansion to downtown. It's a great way as somebody's coming from the east on 120 Jackson, where I know the direction you head from often. What a great introduction to downtown.
Oh, yeah.
And they've done a fabulous job designing those buildings. The architecture's amazing.
And there's no stopping them because they keep on a building.
Yes, yeah.
And I even got a sneak peek into some of the plans, and we're not going to recognize it. A year or two from now, we're not going to recognize that area.
Yeah, I think about people, I have siblings who live in New York, and they come back here after not being home for a while. And it's like, oh my goodness, what's going on downtown? Yeah. And that whole area, really that aquatic center is sort of what was the catalyst to that. And, I've seen the drawings and the plans for the Jackson corridor there, and it's just going to keep spreading east until really it meets with the Martin Supermarket area.
Yes.
And it's going to be a vibrant little community, walkable, shoppable, lots going on, and it's all going to lead you to the heart of it, which is Main Street, which is where we like to be.
It thrills me. It's just exciting and fun in so many ways. And I think about how Stephensons, like you said, there it stood during depressions, recessions, COVID, pandemics. It still stood. And there's got to be a reason for that because, sadly, a lot of businesses did go out of business, during all of those times. Tell us what are the three ingredients that make a business like Stephensons last almost 100 years?
Stubborn. No.
Okay.
Three ingredients. That's an interesting question. I think the most important thing is to never forget who got you where you are and why. And we operate and revolve our entire business model around our customer. It's easy to think about, hey, we're in the fashion business, we're in the style business, we need to go to New York and find great fashion, but never forget who it is you're doing it for. It's not for you, it's for this customer. And if we learned, I guess, many years ago, and this was something that was taught and ingrained in me, that you always put the customer first. That's why we're here. And if you build out from that, I think you're going to start finding success. So never forget who got you there or why. And don't be afraid of some good old-fashioned hard work. I remember when Lily was getting into the business, and she's a brilliant kid, as I think
she's
you probably
amazing.
Come to know.
Love
she
your
was
daughter.
a scholar, and she graduated from college with honors in 3 years. Got her bachelor's degree in fashion merchandising and design, and she could do just about anything she wanted. And I said, don't get into this business for the money. You have to get into this for the passion. I said, and this is, mind you, during COVID when she was coming in, and I said, this is going to be difficult. It always has been a difficult business. But when we've got the Amazons of the world, trying to take over our retail society, and at the time we had, I'll just say, the government trying to take over with pandemic shutdowns and things like that. I was like, this business has always been hard, and it's never been tougher than it is right now. So I just want you to know what you're getting into. And she looked at me, she said, that's why I want to do it. I like the challenge. I said, all right, let's buckle up and let's go. So my point is, it's work. You have to be willing to, I think it was Dr. Scholl's that said, the harder I work, the luckier I get. You have to be willing to put that work in. And then I guess you have to be willing and able to change. We're in our business, which is the fashion business. We have to be able to adapt to society, what they want. And as we get older, we can get a little bit more resistant to change, but you have to keep that open mind, willingness to change without forgetting who you are and what got you to where you are. So you find that balance. I've said before, I don't know if I've said it on this show or not, but I've said before, like I've walked for many years with 1 foot on 7th Avenue and 1 foot on Main Street in Elkhart, and trying to find that balance in there has been a fun part of the job for me. So I think that's 3 things.
And so eloquently said, and it's very to me it's very poignant, because it really is a testament to the values of your family, and also the talent, because it does take talent. You have to have an eye for what's going to jibe in your own town with what's going on in the world at large, and you guys seem to do that. What I love about Stephensons, so whether I'm going in there because I need a new pair of jeans, but really nice jeans, good jeans that look fabulous, or if I need, something formal, like you guys have everything and then in between. There is so much variety in styles and colors and fabrics, and there is always something. And I don't think I've ever been in there since I've been back here and not come out with a bag, even when I don't go there to buy, because I can't help it. There's always something I see that go, I've got to have that.
Our job is to tempt you. Well, and Laura, we've said, and you can't be everything to everybody, but we do know who our customer is. And so we want to kind of be there for all of her needs or events, occasions, walks of life, whatever it might be. We like to be there for all the important moments in people's lives. And that was one of the reasons that we've really, in the last 20 years, put an emphasis on our special occasion business, proms, weddings, things like that. Important times. We're honored to be a part of many of our customers' big ones. But there's things like you've got job interviews, or maybe you've got, I know the JA Gala just happened this past Saturday night, and that was something that we were honored a couple of years ago to get the Lifetime Achievement Award.
What is the JA Award?
It's Junior Achievement Gala, where they recognize community businesses for achievements, and there's a number of different categories. And a couple of years ago, we were honored to get the Retail Lifetime Achievement one. That's how I first knew I was old. But something like that. We've had a lot of ladies over the past week coming in to get dresses for that. So those are important moments. Well, a lady was in the store a couple days ago. She was going to be speaking at an event. I had a gentleman come in, actually ended up having a really interesting conversation with a guy. He was going to be speaking on genetics and the Amish community in our area, and he needed,
Wow.
He needed a suit upgrade. And so we were able to put him together, and he felt good. His wife's eyes got big when he walked out of the room, and I could tell by the conversation we were having that, I think he's going to be a more confident speaker because of how he was looking in this new suit. And so that's going to assist in his performance. So it's little things like that. I mean, probably sounds goofy to somebody who doesn't do this day in and day out, but then we feel like we're kind of taking a part. We're helping this guy do, achieve what he's trying to achieve. And how important are clothes? Well, I know, they're not world changing, but it's scientifically proven that how you dress affects how you act and how you behave. Yes. So if we can help that with somebody in a positive way, then I think we've accomplished something.
And the guidance that you get when you go to Stephensons, it's remarkable because the cumulative experience of all of your associates at the store, including your beautiful daughter, Lily, who is obviously more than just passionate about what she does. She went to school for it. So she's really, educated and understands it. And but you guys always guide people. And I love that. And you do it subtly. It's not like you're, following people around and telling them what to pick and things like that. But you guide people. People ask a question or they'll say, I have this type of event. And you always have an answer. Lily always has an answer. Michelle always has an answer. Your mom. I love your mother. She's so fabulous and gorgeous and still has her pulse. I mean, her finger on the pulse of the fashion industry. It's just remarkable to me. So I couldn't be happier that I live in Elkhart and that I get to, go to a place like Stephensons of Elkhart, which literally, I was going to when I was 5 years old. And if you knew how many decades that was. Let's just say that Danny probably was not born yet. You were not born yet, but when I was going there, or you might have just been born, something like that. But it's just such a flagship, such a beautiful testament to the wonderful place that we live here in Elkhart and Michiana in general, because I know that Stephensons has a reputation that goes beyond Elkhart. Everybody talks about Stephensons and about an experience they had.
We're proud, Laura, that we draw actually from about a 300-mile radius. We get customers, especially for our bridal salon during prom season, from also a 4-state radius: Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Illinois. They drive around large cities to get to us, and I think that speaks to the level of customer service that we are dedicated to. That there are a lot of stores between here and west of Chicago that somebody could go to, but I feel like they have learned or heard to trust our 94 years worth of treating customers right. And you mentioned how our associates will guide you. I say our customers all have important things to do. Whatever your career is, I mean, you're one of the prominent radio. Do we call it disc jockeys anymore? I don't know.
Host.
Personalities. How about radio?
Host.
You've got a lot to think about, worry about, and do. All of our customers do in their careers, so they don't need to be thinking about what to wear this weekend. That's our job. That's what we think about every day. Yep. So if we can, help somebody simplify that process, then again, I think we've done our job.
You have, and then some. You're listening to The Style File with Danny Reynolds of Stephensons of Elkhart, which is right on Main Street there. Beautiful, iconic white and black building. You can't miss it. Right across the street from the Vine and all the fine area stores, and it's just right in the heart of it all. The city with a heart. That's downtown Elkhart. We'll be right back. I'm Laura Smith.
Podcasts by Federated Media.